Hi there. Your name, please?
Rafael Chagin.
Raf- Rafael. Is it true around 1992 your company sold $1 million, so you decided to call it quits?
Absolutely.
What is your problem?
Well, absolutely. I had a building that was providing me with a significant income because I had two tenants, 60,000 square feet, 60,000 square feet building, and I had two tenants. Plus, my business had double in size, double in workforce, double in volume, double in machinery. But I decided to call it quits because I sure wasn't going to spend the rest of my life going to court to be treated like a criminal. And these accusations were dumb, stupid, irrelevant, building code violations. Like when they took me to court the first time, they wanted me to install a firewall around an air conditioner that looked like a boiler. These clowns called inspectors evidently don't get any training. They just get a job. About a year or two ago, there was a 19-year-old getting a job as an inspector making $50,000.
Wow. Where do you think he's at right now?
I have no idea, but I hope he's not an inspector.
Okay.
Now, the inspectors that took me to court with stupid building code violations didn't know a thing either. They look pretty much like 19 years old trying to just make work, and that's what it's called, make work for the inspector. And you go along with it as long as it's for the benefit of your business or the community. But when they ask you stupid things, you can't go along with stupid things. Like this air conditioner on the second floor of the building at 4343 South Ashland. It's probably still there. It looked like a boiler because it was a big unit. But they wouldn't listen to me, and they wouldn't go to the first floor where there was a boiler and it had a firewall. Again, I was taken to court 3 times. The third time, the judge requested a fire marshal to go to the building and inspect that boiler on the second floor. That was not a boiler. It was an air conditioner big enough to look like a boiler.
Did you explain that to the judge?
Yes.
And what did he say?
Well, the last time, that's when he said, this is like a circus. And that's where I coined my statement that the building department has no mind, it has no heart, it's nothing but a circus act, from what the judge said. So the fire marshal went to the shop, inspected the air conditioner, he opened it up, he saw the brand, you know, one of those air condition that you know the brands, and the case was finished. Then I had another bunch of inspectors take me to court because they asked me to install a ventilation system. I had been in that building for over 12 years. I had never seen the need for a ventilation system, all right? And I told them, if you explain to me why I need a ventilation system, I will do it, gladly to. What happened is that whenever something like this is taking place, the inspectors get a cut from the company that sells the ventilation system, that installed the ventilation system. That's why. Now, they could never explain to me why did I need it?
Did you finally get one?
Ventilation system.
Did you finally get a ventilation system?
No, I never installed it.
Oh, okay.
But I went to court several times. Next thing that happened to us was that some vandals broke the windows on the Ashland side, which is a very busy street. So I boarded them up immediately. You can't leave your building open, especially in the winter, where the sprinkler system, the pipes
will break
that run through the ceiling are next to the windows. And if those pipes get frozen, they burst. And that's a huge expense. Besides, you cannot leave the windows open for people to get in. So after I boarded up the windows, I was fined $2,000 because I did it without a permit. So now you know that these guys cannot distinguish between an air conditioner and a boiler, right? They want to make you install a ventilation system where there was no need. How much else do I need to find out that it's nothing but a big joke? Now, I should have started with the fact that I had been in that building for 12 years, about 12 years. And I never saw an inspector. What prompted the inspectors was the fact that there was an article in one of the major newspapers about minority companies, and our company was featured as a company that was doing extremely well, getting ahead, and we had customers like Motorola, Siemens Radio, Pillsbury, Western Electric at that time. So we were a very small but very successful company. When that picture came in the newspaper, at the bottom of the picture there was a caption that said that unique boxes had profits of $750,000. I didn't say profit, I said sales. But when the inspector saw that in the newspaper, they figured that I was stuffing my pockets with $750,000. And that's when they started visiting me, because prior to that article, I never saw an inspector in my company. How do you like that? They follow the money. But one of the things that I think led to the destruction of my company is that I have been advocating an effective program of smoke detectors. All you have to do is read the newspapers and see that 9 out of 10 people who die are minorities. And it happens on the side of Chicago, where people are fairly poor, old buildings, but they don't care. It seems like the more people die in those buildings, the more inspectors they hire, because they could have implemented an effective program of smoke detectors, which I had advocated in 93 or 94 when I wrote the chief fireman in the city of Chicago. I wrote him a letter and I told him about the fact that 500 people died because of a heat wave. I think I wrote that letter in 96. Let me take that back. In 95 there was a heat wave and 500 people died in Chicago because of the heat wave. They had no air conditioner. Commercial districts had disappeared. That's where people used to go when it got hot, especially in the minority communities. So anyway, here I find myself going to court or being taken to court with dumb, stupid violations and being treated like a criminal. It turns out that they are the criminals because they don't care of people who die in households, in people who die in dwellings. I talk to people who have done the effective program of smoke detectors, and the experts will tell you, once the smoke detectors are installed and kept in working order, fatalities are reduced next to zero. There was
So who do you blame for your company?
The building department.
Building department.
The building
Any special person or just?
Two judges and an inspector.
Oh, okay.
And I call them common criminals.
Okay.
Judge Sebastian Pari and Judge Sheldon Garber, an electrical inspector.
Well, how about your lawyer? Wasn't he doing a good job?
He knew that he couldn't face anybody. He knew that he was going to lose. So he pulled out.
Oh, okay.
And then he gave me 2 attorneys, both of them.
Did he take your money?
I didn't give him much money, really.
Oh, okay.
I never did.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I never did. Because he was never in court with me.
All right.
But anyway, these 2 judges, I call them common criminals because they destroyed my company. And let me tell you, they didn't stop until it was all destroyed. So I call it a hate crime. They could have told me, get the equipment out. We're going to demolish the building. Your building is bad.